Okay, it didn't tell me. Oh, it did.
It says this meeting is being recorded by the host or participant.
Perfect. I didn't hear it this time.
Yeah, I didn't either. We don't have any sound.
Okay, let's
You.
try again.
Hi, I'm Richard Landreth, Director of Lincoln County Library System. Welcome to Getting Acquainted with Acrylics with Sadie Payne. Before class begins, I'd like to take a few moments to thank some of our sponsors and supporters. First, I'd like to thank the Lincoln County Library System and the facilitators across the county. Second, I'd like to thank the Lincoln County Library Foundation for monetary support. We'd also like to thank the Camera Senior Center, whose area we will be invading. So thank you very much. And last but not least, we'd like to thank the Creative Aging in Wyoming Public Libraries, which is a joint initiative of the Wyoming State Library, the Wyoming State Arts Council, and Lifetime Arts. The project was made possible through the generous support from the May and Stanley Smith Charitable Trust and the Wyoming Community Foundation. At any time, if you have questions, feel free to type it in the chat or contact an on-site facilitator. Thank you, and now let class begin. Enjoy.
Hi, everybody. I'm glad to be here again. So to recap what we'll try to do today, we're going to try to finish our gnome painting and lay the foundation for our bird painting. Also, I'm going to give you some homework this time. We're going to be painting rocks. So if you have or research some ideas of what you want to paint on your rock, because we'll try to paint the rock one color or two colors depending on what you want to do next week so that we have it ready for the following Thursday. Okay, so if you have questions on that, let me know. But we'll start getting the paint out. So we have regular orange, we have the vermilion orange, white, the medium yellow, so that black, and the colors we are adding that we didn't have last week was brilliant red. I guess we had the green, so that was the monstral green. So we had that one last Tuesday. We're going to add sap green, brilliant red, and burnt sienna. So these are going to be 3 new colors that we're going to be adding to our palette. And we're just going to go ahead and put again a dime or a nickel sized heap of paint in those colors. So we'll get started on that. And I think there's 3 of them that we have. Might add a little more to that one. We'll have 3 new colors that we'll have to pull the tin foil off the edges or off the end. So
Burnt sienna and which orange?
regular orange and the vermilion orange. So Cokeville asked what oranges. Oh, and I got a yellow. Or if I can just, oh. So there's my yellow. And I'm going to do my sap green. The brilliant red. And then of course, if you want to add the slow dry fluid additive, you can also add that to your colors to make it a little more easier to blend. And then burnt sienna. And so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I get 2 of the same thing.
Are the oranges the same?
No, they're 2 different oranges, but I have more. Oh, I put my light green away. Okay. And then of course the white and black. And you might be getting a little low on your white. So if you need to, you can get into the big tube of white paint if you need to. So I think I might have just a little bit left in here. So does anybody have any questions while we're putting the paint out?
No.
Okay. Okay. And let's stick those. And
there's no patrons in Star Valley today.
oh, there's nobody in Star Valley?
Not today.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna move my water over. Okay, and the brushes that we'll be using are the same ones that we used last week. We have a number 6 flat brush, and then we have a number 1 round brush. So we'll use those 2. Okay, so let me know when you guys are ready to get started, and
So we're already on finishing this one up.
we're gonna try it. So Cokeville
Things
asked
ready.
where
Camera's ready.
camera's ready, Thane's ready. Cokeville's asking what we're planning on doing. We're gonna finish up this gnome picture, which is we're gonna finish the leaves, the mushroom, the pumpkin, the nose and the hands, and then the grass. And then we'll lay the foundation for the next painting and possibly get that put into place. We might even be able to start on the branches a little bit too.
Alpine's ready too.
Alpine
we're
rain,
ready.
so everybody's ready.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and we are going to work on the leaves Okay, so they should have been filled in with one color. So I'm gonna actually come in with a lighter orange. And just kind of cover a little bit of that darker orange that I put into place. And then I'm going to add white and kind of mix it on the board. So you're trying to give it a variation of color within the leaf. So if you look at the one I did earlier, we have light orange, we have the dark orange, we have regular orange, and then we'll kind of use that burnt sienna to add the veins and the stem to your leaf. Okay, so I'm just going to come in and add that orange and pick up a little bit of white, and I'm gonna blend it right onto the canvas itself. And I'm just going to give the leaf kind of a light side to it. And then I can come in and pick up that vermilion, which is the dark orange. And I can add it to the other side. And if you need to, you can add a little bit of black to that vermilion to get kind of a darker orange if you need to. So if you can see, I've added just a little bit of black, and it's given it kind of a darker hue to it. And then you can come in and add towards the bottom and just kind of blend it into the orange that you just laid down with the white. So you can kind of see how I've done that one on the left side, where I've given it highlights, shadowing, and then it's kind of got that core orange color. And we're going to do that to each one of the leaves that we have. So I'm going to start with that main orange again, clean off my brush so that it's good and wet. So we can do the mixing. So I'm just going to add that orange. Over the form that I painted last Tuesday. I'm going to come in, grab the white, and I'm going to blend it in to the orange that I just put down. And you can do it from either side. If you want to do the light side on the bottom, you can. We're just going to give it highlights, shadows, and core shadow with the regular orange.
You're putting the veins in with the brown.
With the burnt sienna. So Cookville asked what we were using for the veins. We're going to be using the burnt sienna. And then I'm going to add the darker orange. Add a little too much black to that one. Might have to clean my brush off on that one. Put too much black. Just want a darker orange to create that cast shadow or a darker shadow. That's some variety. Add a little bit of white. Blend it in. Some darker. Okay, so I've got the second week done. And I'm going to start on my third, again, picking up that lighter orange. Covering the outline of what I put down last Tuesday. Okay, pick up a little bit of white. I'm going to blend that into the one side. Maybe I'll put like a lighter one on kind of through the middle. I'm going to add that darker orange that I've mixed with a little bit of black. I'm going to come in and add that darker edge on the bottom. And then kind of blend it in a bit. And that regular orange to white. Maybe I'll pick up a little bit of white and just kind of put some touches on the one side for those. And then a little more. A little too much. Okay, so you should have a different variation of color between the light orange, dark orange, and the regular orange to give a form to your leaves. So does anybody have any concerns with that or having problems? Okay, good, good. Okay, so let me know when you're done with that and Thayne's ready. And we'll get started with the veins once everybody is to that point. Alpine's ready and Thayne's ready. How are you doing, Kemmer? Okay. Okay. Just let me know when you're ready for that next step. Okay, awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pick up that burnt sienna And I'm gonna add a little bit of water to it, or you can use that slow dry fluid additive. But you're just gonna make it so that it's fairly thin, so that it will help you make those really nice, crisp, thin lines. So I'm using the flat edge of my brush. And I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna kind of just follow the leaf itself, come down through the middle with that burnt sienna. And we might need to add a little bit of black to that to make it a darker brown. So I've added a little bit of black. Okay, and I'm gonna come in and just kind of create that vein down the middle, and I'm gonna bring it out into the stem. And that stem is going to have like a larger end to it. So I don't know if you can see that okay. So I've made it thicker, kind of like when a leaf falls, it has that little end that was attached to the tree. So you're trying to add that to it. And then I'm going to come in and add that vein through the other 2 leaves that are attached to that same stem. And then I'm going to kind of add a little bit of shading to separate them a little more. And if you want to get really detailed, you can come in and just add a couple lines off to the side here and there. You probably want to use your #1 brush for that to add the veins inside. So you're going to do that with all of your leaves using that burnt sienna with just a touch of black to it. You're going to find the center of your leaf and just bring it out towards the end where you'll have the stem. I've added just a little bit too much water to it. Make it a little bit thicker. Come in. And then I'm going to add those veins coming out into the middle of the other part of the leaf. And then add those veins. This one's going to have quite a few more than what that first one has. Come in and add those. Darken that stem just a little bit. And we'll come in and add some highlights to that stem so that it will show up a little more. But we'll wait for it to dry first. And on my last leaves, I'm just going to come in and put that vein right into the stem, give that longer end to it. Bring out the veins. And then darken up that stem just a bit. Okay, so I've got veins in each one of those leaves now with the stems coming out of the back. So when you reach that point, let me know.
Veins ready.
Veins ready? Alpine's ready.
Ask him.
How you doing, Kimmer?
You're ready.
Okay, so everybody's ready. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our pumpkin the same way as what we did with the leaves. So we're going to start out with that medium orange. We're going to lay the base, and we'll have to work around our stem where we put that in earlier when we did the shoes. So I'm just going to come around and lay that foundation of the pumpkin, and you can add the bumps to it as you're applying that medium orange, and you're just going to fill up that whole area with that orange, and then add the white highlights and the darker orange to create the pumpkin shape. So I'm going to grab some white, come along the top here. Just gonna, might need to add some more white. And I'm gonna start, I don't know if you can see, I'm gonna start adding those bumps to the pumpkin with that light. I don't know if you can see that okay. Yeah. So we're just gonna, we can mix it onto the canvas with that light orange, and we're gonna add that pumpkin shape to the pumpkin as we go along. And put one towards the top. And I have that one there. A little more white. Added a little too much now. Need to blend it in. And then doing that last little bit to create the form of that pumpkin. So, and then I'm going to pick up that dark orange, that vermilion, add a little bit of black to it. And then we're going to add the highlights. So they're going to be kind of right next to that white. So you have the orange in between, you have the dark, I don't know if you can see. So I've got the light orange, the medium orange, and then the dark right next to the next white layer. And I'm just going to kind of blend that in to create the form of the pumpkin. Add that one. Pick up some more of the dark orange. And maybe you'll have a little bit more of that dark orange along right next to the stem to add depth where it connects. on the pumpkin. Kinda. Might have to use some of that burnt sienna to fill in that stem again. Kind of went over it. And I'm going to add some of that medium orange to kind of give it again that blended look with the different values of orange. So I don't know if you can see that. So basically the same thing as what we did with the leaves. So I might add a little bit of a darker and right along there. White. Okay, so let me know when you're through with your pumpkin.
Payne's ready?
Payne is ready.
Alpine's ready?
Alpine is ready. Move my paint up a little bit higher so you can see. There we go. How we doing, Kimmer? You doing good? So you do realize that every pumpkin is different. I really like the ones with the knobby things on them. They're pretty cool. We tried carving one this year in high school. It doesn't work very well. They're way too thick.
Camera's ready.
Okay, so camera's ready. So go ahead and pick up that burnt sienna, add your black to it, and we're going to just kind of add an aspect to the pumpkin to make it even more varied. And I'm just going to come in and add towards the bottom, just kind of give a kick to those little grooves along the bottom and along the top, right next to the stem. I'm making it too dark. Just going to come in and add so I don't know, let's see if you can see it okay. So I added some lines in here, and then I added some lines around each of those spots where the pumpkin is. And I'm going to touch up my stem just a little bit because I went over it with the orange. So I'm just going to add a little bit of white to that burnt sienna with the black and just clean up that edge. Okay, so let me know when you've got your pumpkin done. And we'll move on to the mushroom. Okay, thumbs up if you're ready.
Spain's ready.
Payne's
Alpine's ready.
Payne, Alpine's ready.
Hello,
How you doing, Kemmer?
that's okay. I'm down doing my art class. No problem. No problem.
They're ready.
Okay, so Kemmer is ready. Okay, so we're gonna do something similar with
Okay,
the
what's that?
mushroom. We're gonna use that brilliant red. I think last time we used the
Oh, I'll miss it then. 'Cause we go to 6.
maybe it was the, oh, it was the
Yeah.
crimson. We used the crimson before. So we're using the brilliant red now, and we're just gonna
I'll
come
check with
in
you. Okay, thank
and
you.
cover it. We're going to blend the whites and the darks again. And we'll have to wait till it's dry before we add the spots. But we're just gonna give that variation of color into our mushroom. So I'm taking that brilliant red and just covering that whole spot. My head in the way. We're good.
Yeah, you're good.
Come in that edge. And then I'm going to pick up some white and kind of blend it along the top. It's going to kind of make a pinkish color, but it's going to give that highlight to the top of it. And then I'm just going to kind of go around the edge with it as well, with the white. Got quite a bit of white on that side. Just kind of blend it in. Go along the bottom. I'm just going to go into the hand a little bit there so that I don't have to come back and paint in the mushroom next to it. So I'm going to go over it just a little bit. And then I'm going to add a little bit of black to the brilliant red. It won't take much. And then I'm just going to come in between those light areas and the center red and just kind of add that darker value between that medium and light. And I'm going to do it both on the top and the bottom. So you kind of have a, I don't know if you can see that okay. Just kind of adding that form shading to it. I think I might take a little bit of, not that much white, and kind of blend that darker and light a little bit better. And then just the plain red, brilliant red in the middle. Okay. So something like that. Okay. Let me know when you get that done. And we'll start on the stem. Okay, thumbs up when you get that ready. Or you finish the top of your
Payne's ready.
mushroom. Payne's ready.
Alpine's ready.
Alpine's ready. How you doing, Kimmer? Okay, awesome. Okay, so everybody's ready. What we're going to do is we're going to do the stem now. I'm going to pick up a little bit of yellow, and I'm going to add just a little bit of burnt sienna to it. So it's going to make kind of a pretty tan color. So we'll see if it's a little bit yellowish, but it makes it kind of the, I guess it could be a dark mustard brown. Okay, and then we're just going to come in and put that stem in. And again, if you need to add some white to it to make it more opaque, you are welcome to do that. I'm going to add a little bit to mine so that I can cover a dark background. And again, I'm just mixing it on the canvas as I go along. And I'm not taking it all the way to the bottom. It's a little bit lower than the shoes of the gnome, but I'm not taking it all the way to the bottom. And once you have it filled in, you'll pick up some more of that burnt sienna with the black, and you can like put texture in there. Again, I added too much black. Pick up some of that yellow, add to it. Okay, and I'm going to actually just come in and sometimes they have like variegated lines in their stems. So I'm just going to add that into my stem to give it some texture. And maybe there's like a bigger crack on one side than the other. Gonna make that a little bit darker underneath. You have to clean up that edge again. Yellow off the red. Just picking it up with my brush and some water and just cleaning that edge up. Some of that dark. Okay, so you can see that I've got some variegated lines in there. So let me know when you've got your stem done. We are almost there. Okay, Alpine, you're ready? How's Thane and Kimmer doing?
Things ready.
Thane's ready? Okay, so Kimber, let us know when you're ready to go.
I'm ready.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so now that we've got, we're waiting for the mushroom to dry so we can put the spots on it. We're gonna move to the nose and the hands. And what we're going to do is we're gonna pick up a little bit of yellow and the brilliant red, and we're gonna mix those together. And you want it a little more red than orangey, okay? But you just want just a titch of yellow in there. And then we're gonna pick up some white and we're going to make kind of a light pink that has a peach tint to it. See if I can, I've got way too much red. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make another spot. Okay, so if you see that color, I've kind of made a pink that has just a titch of yellow in there to give it a peach look to it. And that is going to be our medium color. I don't know if it, I guess you can kind of see, it's almost like a, I don't know, carnation, pink carnation or color. And we're just gonna come in and put that over the nose, and we're gonna follow those guidelines that we put in when we first started. And it may go over the headband, and that's fine. You definitely want it to go over the beard. And we're gonna do the same thing as what we did with the leaves and the pumpkin and the mushroom. We're gonna lay that first color down and then add the white, and you're just gonna kind of blend it in. And you can leave a little bit of white towards the top to give it that glowy look. And when you go to add the darker color, you want to, I would use just a titch, just a, I don't know if you can even see. I'm using just a titch of green, and I'm going to mix that with the peach to get kind of a darker color, but it's not, I mean, it's, you can kind of see the difference, and that's going to be our dark color. And we're just going to come along the bottom and add that to the bottom part of it and kind of blend it in. So you can kind of see, I've got the light at the top. I might even be able to just put a little more green in there. Let's see if I can make a bigger difference there. I'm gonna come in and add that to the bottom. So you can kind of see the difference between the bottom and the top, giving that roundness look to it. Using that darker pink color, using the green. And I'm actually going to go in and add a little more white so that I can mix between the two. Oh, I got too much water. And then I'm going to add that highlight again. Brush picks up water. I'm going to blend it in. Okay, so if you can see how I blended that white towards the top, I've got the medium that we started out with in the middle, And then I've got the darker at the bottom. I might have to blend that bottom a little bit more because I can see my marker.
We have about 40 minutes left.
We have 40 minutes left. Okay. Okay. I'd like to get that background of that one started. Just come in. And we're going to do the same thing with the hands. We're going to use that same pink. And I wouldn't worry about the shape of the hands. I'm just dabbing that color in, and you're going to do it around the stem of your pumpkin. And it's just going to be off to the side with your mushroom. I'm just going to come in. So I've got those two sides in, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to use the white to give it the lighter value. And then you're going to use the dark to add shadow. I'm going to come in. Oh, I picked up red. I'll pick up that red and add the white. Add white to the top. And I've got a fairly rough outline of the hand. And then I'm going to use crowd. Make that medium color again. Pink. Add some white. Some coverage in there. And then I'm going to add that little bit of green to that same pink to get that darker shade. And I'm just going to come in and add that towards the bottom of the hands. Give it that darker value. And some white. Okay. So if you can kind of see those different values, it's not real crisp as far as the hands, but you know that they're hands. Okay, so let me know when you're done with that. And we'll start putting in the dots on the mushroom and the
Alpine's
grass. Okay, so Alpine's ready. Do that darker pink again. And marker showing up. Okay, so Alpine was ready or Thane was ready? Alpine's ready. Okay, Thane and Kemmer, how are you?
They're ready.
Okay, awesome. Oh,
Kimmer's almost ready.
Kemmer's almost ready.
Kimmer's ready.
Camera's ready. Okay, so now what we're going to do is check your mushroom. If it's not real shiny, then we're good to go to do the dots. We're just gonna pick up straight white. And we're gonna put the circled dots in them. They can be any shape. They can be put anywhere. They can go along the edge. But we're just gonna put white polka dots on our mushroom. Put one along the edge there. Put a small one. Kind of right along the edge, but not real big. Okay, so let me know when you've got all of your dots on your mushroom.
Alpine's ready.
Okay, Alpine's ready.
Thane's ready.
Thane's ready. How you doing, Kemmer?
They're ready.
Okay. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're going to take our number 10 filbert brush, okay, and we're going to be putting in the grass. And I like to do it sideways, so I'm using the flat end of the brush and then just going back and forth with that end. And maybe I'll just like bring it up to give the long blades of grass. But we're going to come in and we're going to put a base of your, I think this one is the monostral green. And we're just going to come in and zigzag along the bottom of this to give a layer to work from. We're just going to come in, put that green layer. So we want to get kind of up by where the shoes are. We're going to cover them just a little bit. So you can kind of see, well, a little bit of where just barely going along the edge of the shoes. And we're just going to do that zigzag with that monostral green. Add some water to do that. And you're going to also cover up that the base of the mushroom as you go across. Okay. And once you have that done, you'll want to alternate between the dark green. So that would be the sap green. You can come in and just add some sap green here and there. I'm using that flicking motion with my brush. But I'm just kind of coming in here and there and putting that sap green. This one's going to be a little more opaque than that lighter green. But we're going to have some mixtures of those greens that we're going to lay down into the bottom. And I'm going to dab some here and there towards the bottom so that you're not seeing the white canvas as much. So we're going to layer these grasses that are going along. I'm coming in, making it a little bit darker towards the bottom. Giving our gnome a foundation to stand on. I'm just kind of dabbing that into place. Okay, so we've got basically that foundation of our grass. So if you can see that okay. I've got a little bit of light there, but we'll be covering that up. So you can see that I've got some of that darker green coming up from the bottom. The next step is we're going to take that same sap green and we're going to add some white to it and make it kind of a light sap green. And we're going to come in and add, we're going to do kind of the same thing and we're going to add it over the top of that green that we've already placed down. So I don't know if you can see how I'm just using my brush to sweep up and add that light sap green because we're going to use some of that monostral green as well, but we're going to build it in layers. And maybe we have some spots down at the bottom that are going to be lighter. Just going to dab it here and there. So is everybody kind of comfortable with this?
You can go ahead and keep going.
Okay, so I'm going to add some white to that. Well, actually, I'm going to take some of that sap green, add a little bit of black to it to make even a darker green. And I'm just going to put a layer of that in there, here and there, over the top of the white. I have to make a little more. So it's kind of a forest green. I'm going to add kind of it on top of that lighter here and there. Okay, and then once I've got that value with the sap green, I'm going to go to that monostral green and I'm going to add some white to that. So I'm going to have a really light, almost a lime green, I think, once I get that white mixed with it. Not quite limey, but it's going to be a fairly light green. And you're going to do the same thing as what you did, but you're going to layer it over the top of what you've already got down. We're going to come in and add that over the top of that dark forest green that we laid down. I might add some towards the top here and there. I definitely want some in front of that forest green. Okay, so you can kind of see I've got all those different variations of grass that's kind of layered here and there, and I've added some of the lighter on top. Okay, so let me know when you're done with that. That will finish. Well, no, it won't finish. We still have to. We have one more step left. We have one more step left. So let me know when you're done with the grass. Yeah, the grass. And we'll go to the very last thing besides signing our name. So let me know when you're at that point.
Alpine's ready.
Alpine's ready. How you doing, Thane and Kimmer?
Thane's ready.
Thane's ready.
Kimmer's ready.
Kimmer's ready. Okay, so this, we have to put like little swirlies from where the leaves have been flying. So we're going to make a very thin white. It's okay if it's got a little bit of pink in it. You're just going to add some water or
Oh, okay.
just make it. It's going to be fairly transparent, so you want it quite liquidy. And we're just going to kind of come in and add the highlight. We're just going to add a highlight to the end of the stem, and then we're going to do our curly cues. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that. Okay,
I can't see it. Just at the face.
I'll just.
I'll just look at that.
look at that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got the highlight on the stem, and then I've added the little swirly. I wonder if it's just, no, I don't have it very dark on there. So I'm going to try to darken it up just a little bit. You guys can see. You can probably see that a little bit better now. Okay, so you're going to make it very transparent. You're going to add the highlight to the stem. So I'm just going to come in and add that highlight to the edge. And then you're going to create that swirly. And it can go any direction. And it's going to attach to the end of that stem. And this one, I'm going to kind of bring down from the bottom. Get that highlight there. Maybe come out. Okay. Okay, and then once you have that swirly in and that highlight, go ahead and sign it, and we'll be done with our second painting. Oh, yes. Okay, again, you can use the marker if you want, or you can use your brush, but go ahead and sign it with your name, your initials, or your symbol. And again, I like to put in the year that I painted it.
What color are you doing that with?
Okay, so Cofield asked what color I'm doing it with. I'm just doing it with that same white that I used for the swirls. That light, transparent white. Okay, so we have painting number 2 done.
Tell them to give the thumbs up. Okay, looks like Fane's done.
Fane's done. How's Alpine and Camera? Are you guys done? Alpine, awesome. I wish we had more time because I would totally love to see him. But we're going to try to start on that third painting.
Camera's ready.
Okay, so camera's ready. All right, guys. So I have a slide for the third painting.
Thank you.
I'll show you what we're going to be doing. So we're going to do this big fat puffy bird. And it is, this is a very loose type of painting, so it should go fairly fast. So you can see that the background is just kind of, the brush strokes are all over it. So it's almost kind of marbly, okay? So hopefully you have already got your canvas ready. Let me go over quickly with the third slide, the slide for the third one.
Just a second. Camera's typing something.
Oh,
so-
Camera's got a question. Can we pause for a moment? Yes, we can pause.
I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the other page.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I won't be able to see him. Oh, yeah, I will. The right page.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. So while you guys, you must be opening your canvases. So if you are opening those, I'll just kind of go over this slide that we have for the third painting. Okay, it's going to use a very loose style. It's almost kind of impressionistic because it's not quite so a sharp detail. This one, just let your brush do the work for you. Flow with the paint in the canvas. Don't try to control it and just have fun. So this is probably the hardest part of this type of painting, is just letting yourself go. Because we want to be in control of things. So just try to turn that off in your mind. You can choose a different background if you want to for the with the bird. I'm just a blue person. I love blue, but you can use any other color that you want to use for the background. This has got some rust colors in it. So you could use a green, orange, just whatever color you want for the background. Okay, so that will kind of give us a intro for the bird picture. So Camera, are you guys ready? Okay, so we're gonna put in the shape of our bird. Okay, we're gonna start. So does everybody have your canvas and your pencil? Thumbs up if you've got it. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to just draw the main branch. So I'm going to come over. It's going to drop down and come over to the side. And it's pretty close to the bottom. And if it doesn't quite look right, you can adjust it. Again, this is just your foundation that you'll be put into place. And then there's a branch that breaks off and heads up towards the top. And I'm just going to enter those into the canvas. Okay, thumbs up if you guys are ready for the next step.
Yep.
Okay. Now we're going to make the body of the bird. So we're just going to come in and put a big round circle. And then we're going to do like an oval on the top of that, and then our tail. We're just going to bring down our tail. And then we'll have our beak. Okay. And I mean, we can add more poofy to the bird, just or more painting. Okay. So that is basically our foundation. So give me a thumbs up when you reach that point, and we'll start putting in the background.
Ready?
So Alpine's ready.
Bane's ready.
Bane's ready. Okay, I need you to pull out your Acrylic blue. So it's not your dark blue, but kind of your medium blue. And if you have a spot on your plate, you can put that in, and you'll probably need some more white paint. I would put maybe the size of maybe a nickel, a little over a nickel. And I'm going to be getting into my big white here.
You're gonna need this glue. Oh, okay.
And I'm struggling getting that. There we go. That tin foil off the white. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to use this blue in different variations. So as you go in, you're going to dab the paint into your areas. We might even want a little bit of that deep cyan as well, so that the darker blue, not the darkest. How do you say that?
Cyan.
The phlanthro.
Oh,
You don't want that one. You want the
Yeah.
deep cyan. You want the deep cyan, and not very much of that one. So I'll show you kind of what I've got. I've got the Acrylic blue, a little bit of the cyan, the deep cyan, and some white. Okay, and we're going to use the brush, the 1/2-inch brush, flat head brush. Okay, and you're just going to pick up those colors, and you're just going to start dabbing. And you're going to mix the white and the dark here and there. The dark will go a long way, but you just want all different variations of your blue. And I'm going to use a lot more white. And you're just basically dabbing. So I'm going back and forth with those colors. I'm picking them up, just going back and forth and dabbing is what I'm doing. I'm not blending. I might be blending a little bit, but not much. I'm just trying to grasp that feeling that there is a background. That's not quite, what's the word? It's there, but it isn't. So you're just kind of giving it a background. And I'm using those 3 colors, just blending them in, and you're going to go around your bird. And when you get to the branches, you can cover it a little bit, but I would try to keep an idea of where those branches end, or where they are. So you don't want to totally cover them up, but you want to have a general idea of where they are. And I would suggest doing kind of a darker mixture around your bird. So for example, I've added that darker dabbing right next to it, and it will really make a contrast, make your bird stand out more if you do that. I'm just dabbing those. Let your brush do the work. If it has texture in it, great. Because you're just letting your brush do the work for you. A little bit darker there. If you want to make it look a little bit smoother, just kind of lightly dab to just, it will blend it a little bit, but it might make it a little bit smoother if you want a smoother look to it. But the texture is what's really going to bring out the picture. And I'm going to grab those spots that are underneath the bird, because we are going to be putting some feet in there. They're just kind of implied feet, but we'll use some of that to go. We want to just make sure that these areas right here are covered, in case we run out of, or we don't have enough of the foot to cover that background. Does that make sense? Again, I'm adding that, just dabbing and adding that texture in the background. Oh, I just covered the towel. We'll have to keep that. Maybe I'll be able to see it from through the paint. Make sure you get the edges covered. Right in the middle of that one. So I'm going to try to blend those lighter. So I've got quite a, if you look at my picture, try to lift it up. You can see that my white isn't quite blended in. I've got little speckles of white. I'm going to try to just lightly brush those in without trying to change the texture of it. So I'm going to wash out my brush, get it fairly dry, and then I'm just going to lightly kind of just blend it here and there so that it softens that white background. Just I missed a spot of the canvas. So I'm just gonna kind of lightly blend those whited areas that are harsh mixtures just a little bit so that it's a softer background. Add spots where okay, so we have 2 minutes left. So just kind of blend your background, well, not blend it, but give that texture to it, kind of the marbling effect. And remember to research what you want to paint on your rocks. I don't know what size they are. They're all different sizes.
They're good size.
Fairly good sized. So research how or what you want to paint on your rocks.
You'll bring an example though, would you?
Oh, I'll see what I've got. I'll bring some examples of what I've done, but they're probably definitely smaller rocks. But I'll bring some examples next week, and we'll at least get the base color of your rocks done on Tuesday. And hopefully we'll have this finished by Tuesday. And then we can start on the rocks and the block on Thursday. So does anybody have any questions before we end? Let me give you one last look at the canvas so you can see it's just kind of dabbed a really rough texture, but not quite as harsh as what it was with the white sticking out. But okay, we'll see you guys on Tuesday. You guys have a great weekend.